I'm going to answer a comment from one of my subscribers on what to use on the Alpine BRV S65C speakers, which I reviewed about a month ago. It's because it doesn't come with any crossovers in the box. I am going to see if AI can do a better job than me quoting, or hey, does the pro with 30 years experience have an advantage over AI? This question actually came from the comment section on the Alpine BRV S65C component set. And what it asked about was, how do you run it if there's no passive crossovers? Just so those who don't know, a passive crossover just makes it so you can run one channel of the amplifier, which is say the left, and it can run a separate tweeter and a separate mid-range all on its own. Now for this system, it does full active or electronic. As you can see with the screen right now, I wrote in, I am looking for a 75 watt ×4 amplifier that can run tweeter and mid-range using an active crossover. So it did thinking, it did. It goes, when running an active front stage, it goes through and says you might need to have a 3 to a 5 hertz high pass, which means it's going to play everything above it, so that cymbals, some high voices. Then it talks about most standard amplifiers are at 500 hertz and approximately 75 watts of output. Now, before anyone notices, the Alpine is rated at 50 watts RMS or 150 watts peak. I like to have a little bit more wattage because I'm going to make sure it's a clean signal as possible. So if it's 75 watts max, I want to have 50 watts of clean power. Now I want to show this. So it talks about this one, a JBL Club here. Now one thing you're going to notice, look, there is no, right here is 300 hertz. I know it's hard to see by the screen, okay? So this doesn't have a multiplier. Let's go down. And it gets into a Morel amplifier. And I look on top again. It doesn't have the multiplier. So already, it's having a tough go. Click on this one now. And I go through. Magnify. No high pass whatsoever. Now, I'm going to do a different one, okay? So now I did this one. This prompt says I'm looking for a 75 ×4 amplifier that built-in active crossover for tweeters. This means it has a 10x switch in order to get the crossover point higher than 3K. I want to do a little caveat on AI. It is a great tool, and there are great sites like crutchfeld.com. There's lots of them out there that have fitment guides. Keep in mind, they're not all created equal. And why I say that, for example, if I type in a Toyota Tacoma 2013. My wife has one, pretty easy. It says it has a 6.5 or a 6x9 in the front, or. So I don't know which one to buy. Then it talks about having a tweeter, which is 2 3/4. All right, well, the truth is, it's not. It's about 1.5 inches. Same with in my case, it was a 6x9, okay? But what I suggest with AI is that it gives you a rough idea, is go take the door panel apart. Why? You might be asking, why would you want to do that? Because if you're comfortable taking that door panel apart, take it, confirm all the parts, confirm the fitment, make sure, take measuring out, measure everything, and then order your product or consult a professional. Because if you're not comfortable taking the door panel off for this project, stop. I mean it. Go see a professional and get some help. And that's not because I'm saying you can't do the job, it's just your comfortability is not there. Anything AI tells you, I want you to just take a step and go and confirm it. Don't think it's right, because we all don't need 6-foot arms and 6 fingers, all right? I'm going to switch back. Remember, this one did it here. I went down and none of these did it. Now, this one, the JL's a great piece, but it's also $2,100, okay? Now I put less than $299, and it went into this Kenwood amplifier. And it has fixed crossover points. And then I don't even know this amp, so I'm just going to skip past it. Okay. Finding a 4-channel amp for a specific 10 times crossover multiplier is essential for active crossover setups, typically above 3K. And this is where you have to kind of know the industry lingo, because if I would have bought any of the amps on this page, I'm not saying anything bad about these amps at all. They're all great amplifiers, okay? You have the chance of blowing up your speakers. And that's just not good for anybody. Let's keep going. So the Hertz DP 404 has a low pass that goes all the way up to 4K. and allows the range precise, blah, 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 blah. Now, 75 times 4, what I asked for, and it goes all the way through. Then it shows the JL Audio RD 400.4. And there we go, it has it again. It has exactly what I'm looking for. Now the one thing here, it has a kicker key lock. Now let's dig a little bit deeper on this one, okay? So I go deeper and I look here. If you want the most control of your crossover points using a manual dial, the Hertz is the best fit for 75 watts. If you prefer a set it and forget it time alignment, the key lock 200.4 is an excellent alternative. The problem is I could not find any switches. All right, we fast forwarded to the kicker. This key lock here shows it, microphone, etc. Now you go here and you can see high pass is only 600, 800, or 120, or off. And you're like, okay, well, I just ran into the same thing. By the way, do you notice gains go to 11? Total Spinal Tap reference there, guys, for you guys who are old enough. Is it says here, crossover points, and it doesn't say it. You're starting to wonder, now look here. Bi-amp mode. Bi-amp mode. Instead of a manual 10-time switch, or it has an AI-driven DSP selects optimal crossover points. And it has an automatic 40-band EQ. So when I go to research it, it doesn't work. You know what you do, guys? Is you phone. Now, I reached out to them. Even here, guys, in the YouTube video, it didn't show it. So what I did is I went down to contact us. And I went technical support right here. And I phoned them. Kind of in a nutshell, guys, that's the issue with AI, okay? It did come with some decent answers in the end if you ask them correctly. But how many of you, and I would love to know that's called a 10x multiplier. I'd love to see it down below in the comment sections. Tell me if you knew what that feature was. But I do admit, if you're running a DSP, there's so many layers to this conversation that, it's are you starting your car audio journey? Are you deep into it? You've had a system before? That's the only thing with a lot of this, because just for example, with the Alpine, it's made to work in the Optim 8 ecosystem. So what I mean by that is they have kind of an active DSP amplifier, and you go through when you're setting it up and you go, oh, I have this speaker, boop, and it programs it for you. It does crossover, equalization, everything. It's awesome. If you're not going to utilize that, because I'll say, for example, the Optim 8, which is called roughly $1,000 USD, and then which to use the Hertz amp, for example, is under $299. I'm not comparing them. I'm not saying what's better or what sounds. Sometimes we have to work on a budget. And that's the hardest thing with AI. Because it spit out a lot of answers like, that JL amplifier is a good amplifier. I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's double the price of the Hertz. And there's probably reasons why. I'm not arguing the fact. But I'm just saying as a perspective of a person who's sitting here trying to use AI to quote. Like I said, I have 30 years of experience, and that helps me know what to program into AI. So maybe there's a store in your area or someone that you can help to help you with car audio. Because this is a great example, as if like I know I'm talking in a circle. Okay, I realize I am. But if you order the amplifier, one of the ones before, let's say the JBL. I'm not saying the JBL, I'm just using it for this example of the feature set. It's a great amplifier, I'm sure. But if you hook that up and you put the high pass on 300, that tweeter will probably last about 4 seconds and goes, poof, blows it up. Well, then you have to remove it, ship it back to say Crutchfield or a local store or wherever you bought it from, and now you're losing a couple weeks. And also, guys, warranty is not an insurance policy for you installing it wrong. I know that's a tough thing to say, but warranty is a manufacturer's defect. Not because you were defective, you know what I mean? You would be paying shipping back and downtime and the discretion of the manufacturer when it comes to warranty. And why would you want to do all that by using an AI quote? So I think you're kind of getting my ideas of what's going to fit or not fit. But I mean, here's a great example. I have a 3-inch hole in my dash. Hey, Mr. Google, can you make me a list of 10 speakers that fit in a 3-inch hole in my Infinity EX37? See, that is a little bit different. Hey, Gemini, I'm looking for an amplifier that's 12 by 10 by 2 inches thick. Paraphrasing, okay? And then it might find me, and you know what? It might find some amplifier, like there's a DLS amplifier out of Sweden that's that size, and I never knew. Those aspects it's good. Setting up and relying on it to make your equipment run properly, I'm going to give it a thumbs down at this point. There's lots of resources out there that can get you to that 1 yard line to install the stuff properly, make it all work, and sound the best it possibly can. If you like this opinion on AI, I want you to check out here. And I'm going to show you where I go through a review of these actual Alpine speakers called Mobase, Mobetta.